This demonstration we're going to have a look at configuring our database options. So we created a couple of databases and only a little demonstration. What we're going to have a look at here is the default database that was created, which is Mailbox Database 1. So as you can see, we've come into our Exchange Management console. We've come to Organizational Configuration, clicked on Mailbox, and we're going to have a look at Mailbox Database 1. So we'll just right click at this point, have a look at the properties. And within the properties we've got 4 tabs running along the top. So the General tab, self-explanatory, just gives us information about the actual database itself. We can see where the database is, where it's mounted, where it's located. If we then have a look at the Maintenance tab, on the Maintenance tab we can do things like create a journal recipient. Now this is quite handy. Maybe what I want to do is retain all mail sent through this database, so I could generate a recipient for all of those emails, and this would actually journal all mail coming through this mailbox database. So if you have anything in place like keeping mail, for example, for 7 years, we could use a journal recipient to do that if we didn't want to use some sort of archive program. We've got the maintenance schedule, so when we're actually going to do our defragmentation. So we've enabled the database management. Don't mount this database startup, self-explanatory yet again. This database can be overwritten by a restore, again self-explanatory. The one that can cause issues is the enable circular logging. What this will do is this will keep a very small subset of log files. Now this may make recovery difficult in the case of any lost backups. If we then go to the limits tab, we've got things like issue warning at this many megabytes here. So this is all to do with mailbox limits for the individual users. We've got prohibit send at, which seems a strange little one to have in here, but you have to remember that sent items also take up space. We've then got prohibit and send and receive as well at this point here. When we want to run the warning message interval, so generally what I tend to do here is specify that we're going to run this 24 hours a day really, so that when people do run out of space, it tells them. Keep deleted items for a certain number of days, so even if users empty out their deleted items, we can still retrieve that email for up to 14 days. Keep deleted mailboxes for a certain amount of days. Let's say for example I delete a user account, at least I'll still have the mailbox intact just in case I deleted the wrong user account. We've then got don't permanently delete items until the database has been backed up. Again, self-explanatory for what this actually means. So if we click on the client settings, what we have here is we have options for default public folder database. So if we have, say, Outlook 2003 and a user connects through this mailbox database, we can see which public folders they'll use for things like calendaring, and also we can specify an offline address book as well. So now we've done all of that, we'll just click the OK button. One of the other things you may decide to do is actually move all of the locations around, because ideally we should be splitting up our log files and our databases onto some sort of high-speed storage and large storage as well. So we can do that in one of 2 ways. We can either do that through the management console, or we can do through the management shell. So let's do it through the management console first. So down at the bottom here on the right hand side, what we have is we have move mailbox database path, and as you can see we can specify a different location for the database files and also a different location for the log files. So for example, the database files could go onto some sort of RAID 5 type device or higher, and log files, stick them on RAID 1 for example. So what we'll do here is we're just actually going to move all of these to a different location. Right, so currently // program files, / Microsoft Exchange Server and so on. So what we'll do here is we'll just move this to a new folder we're going to create and pretend it's a completely different disk. So we'll go for // new folder 1 / db and then / mailbox database. And then 1.edb. And what we'll also do here as well is we'll just move the log files as well, and what we'll do is we'll stick them in / new folder 1 / logs. Now we've done all of that, we'll just click the move button. As you can see now, it's doing the move. It's just telling us it's going to dismount this database, so we'll say yes, we're happy with that. And what we'll do here, we'll just pause the video and come back once the move is complete. Right, that's all done, so we'll click the finish button. And now what we've done is we've actually done that mailbox database move and log file move. So like we said, we can also do this through the command line or through the management shell. So we'll just come to our management shell. We've got a clear screen here, so we're going to use the move - database path, and we're going to move the log files and also the folders as well. So we've got our move - database path. -id mailbox database 1. We're going to change the log folder path first to C:\\new folder 2 logs. So we'll just hit OK here, or hit enter. As you can see, it's now moving the path. Are we sure we want to do this? Well, yes I am. So what we'll do here is we'll just go with the default of yes, and we'll go with default for yes, temporarily dismount that database. So yeah, again I'll just pause this while it moves the files. Okay, all done. Next thing to do is to actually move the ADB file path. So what we'll do is we'll use the same command again, but this time we're going to specify, instead of log folder path, we'll specify ADB file path. Right, so like I said, same command again, near enough, apart from this exception, the ADB file path, and I'm also specifying the database to move as well. So again, we'll just go with the defaults. Yes, we will dismount it. And again, just pause the video while we're waiting for this to finish. Okay, all done. We've now moved the database, first of all, to new folder 1, and now to new folder 2. So we'll pretend that what we've done here is we've split the database and log files across completely separate drives. And that's the end of the demonstration.